here's the deal with Twin Peaks by David Lynch. It's an amazing show. It's very well made. It has that typical David Lynch directing quality, and it has a compelling story and some pretty good characters. Main problem that keeps people from getting into it, including myself for the first few times, is the fact that it has fucking way too many goddamn characters. It has fucking 1,000,000 characters. That number is not verified, but you watch the first episode, like every 5 seconds, it's like too many cooks. You just fucking, the people just walk in, they're just like, oh hey, there's a new character, you gotta guess what relation they have to whatever other characters in the fucking plot. And it's too much, it's overload. The first pilot episode with like an hour and a half of that shit, it's just too much. There's like fucking 80 characters introduced within that time span. And the thing is, you don't get enough time to figure out the relation, so it starts to just come off like a series of vignettes with random characters, and that's what keeps people from getting invested in Twin Peaks. That's what kept me, because I tried watching it in 2014, 2017, and it took me until 2018 until I finally managed to actually get invested, chiefly because that first episode is fucking stupid with how many characters it introduces. But the rest of the series is fucking amazing, barring a few episodes in season 2 when the writing staff went a bit hoo-lally when David Lynch was gone. The thing I like about Twin Peaks is the whole feel of it. You know, there's a lot of things that goes into it. You've got the superb, ethereal soundtrack by Danny Antolin. I don't remember his name, but you got that soundtrack, building that atmosphere with the little synths, late 80s synths. For example, Laura Palmer's theme, and of course that superb theme song. That theme song always just makes me happy. It's the one thing that always just chills me out. Then we've got the the directing style. As you might know from David Lynch, he directs in a very strange, odd manner that makes everything seem a little inhuman. It's a very strange way of doing things, but it just works, and it's kind of what gives the series its unique character. Let's see what else. It's got quite a compelling story, even though they've talked about it multiple times that the whole thing about who murdered Laura Palmer, that was never actually supposed to be resolved. That was just supposed to be a catalyst to jump into the whole series. But I guess it was eventually resolved because of network pressure. But the story is quite compelling in a way, because it takes a lot of twists and turns, and at some point it just goes fucking crazy. I mean, see, the thing I always liked about Twin Peaks is the crazy shit, but without the normal shit, that crazy shit wouldn't be as fun, because it's basically like your average, your average Joe fucking sitcom, soap opera of the early 90s. But every now and then fucking Jeffrey Dahmer steps into it and it goes fucking insane and just screams. It's like, I love that contrast, because that's what put off so many people initially when they watched it. They were like, I can't tell what kind of show this is. Like a nice crime drama, or is it fucking insanity? I can't tell. And like, it keeps switching back and forth between them, and at some point it just gets really, really weird. And that's personally what I think was so appealing about it. Back to the point about the whole experience of it and the aesthetic, as it were. I really liked the way the original series looked, in the sense of that it was very technicolor. It looked very warm, had nice colors in it, shot very well, seemed very high quality for a TV show back then. And I think it did set a new standard with that, especially with the last few episodes. The last episode where they went fucking crazy with the production standards and all that shit, and I thought that was really cool and set a new milestone in terms of TV stuff. Hold on, I need to plug in my laptop battery. I'm so sorry. This is very holy shit! What did I just knock over? Hold on. I need to plug in my laptop battery. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I have to do this. Yeah. How do I... Is it over here? No, that's not the charge. There we go. Okay. Let's see here. Despite the fact that they were never supposed to, resolve the whole Laura Palmer murder mystery thing, I did like the resolution they gave. It was very strange, very fun, with the whole, Leland Palmer being the killer. It had a very interesting twist to it. And Bob, I think, is one of the coolest elements to the whole show. It's sort of like, it gives it this mystical edge where you can't quite tell what's going on, because you have all the mysticism with the Black Lodge, the White Lodge, Bob, all of that shit, and that's what keeps the show interesting. Because I think the most interesting stuff, and chiefly what David Lynch does, is he how am I talking about? Oh my god. he does weird shit that seems to have no meaning, but he inserts just enough meaning and just enough stuff to get you invested, to be like, there has to be more to this. And that's what Twin Peaks does. It gets you real invested. I don't know why I fucking recorded this. I don't care. I just turned the microphone on and recorded. I think the audio has turned to shit. I think the microphone's fucking up at the moment, but I'm just gonna...